The question is, what is your favorite Warlock subclass?
Next question. Warlocks are overhyped.
And the question is, why don't you like Warlocks?
All right, you better have the video where you asked me about Warlocks and then I skipped. Then later down, it's like, hey, why don't you like Warlocks? You better have that in.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Geek Peek. Today I'm talking with Duke Davis from One Shot Questers. This is a special episode of Geek Peek featuring lots of fan questions. There are a lot of stuff we discuss in this episode, so without further ado, enjoy the interview.
Duke Davis from One Shot Questers, you're back!
I'm back. I'm alive. Hello.
You're alive!
Yes.
So we spoke another time.
Yeah.
It's been a while since last we spoke.
Been about a year.
Yeah, about a year, I think. And you've been up to a lot of things. And specifically a few days ago, before we started this little interview, you've published a video on YouTube where you are committing back to engaging with your community. And this is what we are here for. I have a lot of fan questions for you. But before we actually start to dive straight into the fan questions, because this is a special episode all about fan questions, I just want you to connect us a bit with what have you been up to since the last time we spoke and until today.
So, last time we spoke, I believe we were in the process of doing a lot of big events or big projects they were trying to do, like World's Tallest Dice Tower, donating to D&D streamers, giving away a bunch of D&D products. We did those. They were great. They turned out amazing. Absolutely loved doing all of that. And after that, we started really trying to just test the waters with a lot of different content for the channel, like just very much in the D&D space. Went from trying different styles of D&D sessions, still did a bunch of stuff with giving back to the community. We then decided, hey, let's try to switch up the content just a little bit. Let's see what the audience is going to like. Let's see what we find out that doesn't work. Found out a lot of good information. It answered a lot of what ifs, answered a lot of just pretty much what we should be focusing on, what we should be doing, how to best utilize the channel. And now that's kind of where we're at now. Just kind of that video I posted was like, hey guys, thanks for letting me have my fun. Thanks for being patient. We learned a lot. And so we won't be making these mistakes when we're like really, I guess, have a good track record going and we don't just like suddenly switch things up on everyone as a big channel. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. We're back to doing our normal things. We're back to making very much like daily content, back to doing streaming. We're going to be doing podcasts now of a D&D session. And yeah, just a lot of just going back to the basics.
Cool. So, one thing I'm curious, like this learning phase, is there any type of video that you kind of decided, I'm not going to do this anymore?
I would love to do the videos. Like, I would love to keep doing each one of my videos that I did try, because they were fun, they were different, and got a different creative side out of me, which I absolutely enjoyed. I don't think there'd be one that I would say like, oh, I never want to do this again. It'd be more of like, okay, how do we adapt to that? What did we learn from it the first time? And how can we implement that in the next video to make it better? In terms of like never doing that again, that's kind of that could be said in two ways, because it's like, all right, do I want to film it again? Absolutely. But do I want to post that on the channel? Probably not, because it didn't perform very well. So it's one of those things where it's like, we'll probably still do those videos, but it will probably be like as a creative outlet for me and my team, and we'll just post it on Patreon. But like YouTube and everywhere else now has like a defined thing on what people are going to be seeing.
Great. So let's jump into some fan questions.
Let's do it.
We have so many.
You're welcome.
Fun fact, I asked Duke to provide fan questions, and he delivered.
I delivered. I got a really good community. I'm very blessed with my community, so I'm excited to answer questions for them.
Okay, the first question is from Kristoff Foster. And before I move on, I will say this is the one and only apology for butchering your names because I'm probably going to do this a lot. Not a native English speaker. Thank you.
It happens to everyone. I'm a native English speaker and I still struggle with the names, so you're fine.
So Kristoff's question is,
yes,
will you do any more skits involving fans as extras again?
Hopefully, if the content allows it. That is, we've had a lot of fun where we threw in fans as extras, and literally it was some of the funnest filming we've had. We just got to find the right theme, the right script, the right idea to be able to bring people in to be able to do those type of videos. But we also need to make sure that this different direction, or I guess this original direction that we're taking in now, will be able to allow that as well, because we've seen, again, what really stands out for the channel, what people click on, what people enjoy, what I'm being told, what works the best for the channel. And so we're definitely implementing that. And if anything, I'm hoping we could do like more panel type of things where I sit and answer questions from fans. I think that would be amazing, but not, I'm like 50-50 on the sketches right now because I just don't know what to say. We're hoping, if there's any chance that we can, 100%.
Okay. The next question is from Joey. And Joey asks, what world would you most like to visit in a TTRPG? I've been DMing a game set in Hyrule for 3 years now with a party of 7. It could be 8 if you're interested.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you wanted me to be a part of your table. Thank you so very much. If I had to visit like any TTRPG, and you said yours is in Hyrule, so that opens it up to a huge realm. Shoot. Man, that so does it have to be TTRPG then, or does it like video game? Because they literally said TTRPG and then just went to Hyrule.
TTRPG.
Which is,
it's
darn
a
it.
TTRPG.
I would probably do City of Mist, because their world and everything is very unique, because they hone the powers of fantasy characters, or hone the ideas of like historical figures as well. And I think that'd just be really cool, because instead of, living here where a lot of those like fairy tales or historical figures are either made up or they're not a part of this world anymore, it's cool that they could like still be around and we still like interact with them and still like gain that knowledge or ask them the questions, things like that, or, just see the embodiment of what we vision. I think that would be probably my ideal world to be in.
Okay, cool. There's this. It's so funny. Every time I see stuff related to Zelda, yeah. I'm like the new game Tears of the Kingdom now just came out
yes.
a few days ago, I think.
Beautiful.
And I'm ashamed to say that I still haven't played Breath of the Wild, and it's right here. Right here.
Have you played Tears of the Kingdom then yet, or
no? I didn't play it because I'm like I can't play it because it's supposedly a sequel to Breath of the Wild, and I'm like I have this Nintendo Switch here, and I also have the game right there. So like for Breath of the Wild, what you would do for that one, just do the main quest, get it over with, just understand the characters and their stories, and then jump into Tears of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild was kind of like a stepping stone, but Tears of the Kingdom went, okay, that's really good. Let's take it up to 100. Like, I don't think I'll ever touch Breath of the Wild ever again after Tears of the Kingdom. There's just so much more to do. It's way more alive, and I
This was my first time I ever did this. I stood in line to get Tears of the Kingdom, and I finally got it. And for the past weekend, for 3 days straight, that's all I played. Like, I was lazy, I was fat, I just ordered a big fat pizza, and I just ate that for the 3 days. Boy, I was so happy. And the game is just amazing. And I did everything besides do the storyline, and I am still doing everything besides the storyline right now, because it's just the whole world is so much fun to explore.
Okay, you convinced me. Great.
Yes.
I'll get it done.
There you go. Yeah, get it done.
Okay, the next question is from Joseph. And Joseph asks, any horror game you would want turned into a TTRPG?
Ooh, horror games. That's a... Ooh. There's not a lot of horror games I would say that I would like turn into, because I think the horror games can be very hit or miss. I could take the easy way. I'd say like Resident Evil or Dead Space, things like that. But if there was like if this was like horror themed, I would say this is like my favorite movie series. I would do the Insidious series and turn that into a TTRPG. The whole like having your like astral body go out into this like plane where all these like horror monsters are around. I think that would be a really freaking cool concept, and how like you're having regular people and you're having to fight these monsters in the real world, and then you have to go into their world and fight them in there to ultimately destroy them. But you're incredibly vulnerable if you do that. I would do the Insidious series in a heartbeat. Horror game, yeah, that would, yeah. But Insidious series, 100%.
The next question is from Cthuwu, and
oh, no.
I'm upset that I had to read that. Cthuwu?
I know who this is too. I think they're in the Discord, and I'm just like, gosh dang it. You reminded me of my greatest accomplishment, but yet most embarrassing one.
And the question is,
yes,
why are you so cute?
Oh, you're going to have to ask my wife that. She's the one who thinks I'm cute. So, I don't know. I think I'm just an average looking boy, but you're going to have to ask the wife that, but she's gone.
I love
not has like left me, but like she just went to work. So, let me clear that up.
I love that you say like boy and wife in the same sentence.
Thank you. I'm just a good golden retriever boy.
Okay. Thank you, Cthuwu, for the question. Let's go to the next one, which is from a.k.a. Reener.
Okay.
And the question is, what is your favorite race and class to play in D&D?
Favorite race and class? I love my, I guess, more, bigger set of races or species. So I love my Goliaths. I love my half-orcs. I love just my orcs, my hobgoblins. I just love those ones so very much. Favorite classes to play is Barbarians #1, obviously. Artificers #2. And even though I poke fun at it all the time and I give my coworker a hard time with it, Rangers is actually my third one. Because the Ranger is everything people want the fighter to be. But they don't look at it. They just go, oh, we still want fighter. But the freaking Ranger, you get them at like either level 2 or level 3. They can do freaking dual wielding. So nice. They can do a ton of damage.
This one is from K. And in parentheses, the question is, the name is Relaris Maps.
Okay.
If that says anything. The question is, will you be attending Gen Con this year for the pre-tests of Critical Role TTRPG Dagger Heart and the Cobalt Press pre-tests for their system Tales of the Valiant and Dungeon Coach's DC20 RPG pre-tests?
Okay, so I am going to Gen Con. We've been getting that question a lot. And we have 2 of our own events that we're doing. One of the event is we're going to be doing just a regular D&D live play. But that live play is going to be special because you guys, the audience is going to be able to like be a part of it in some way, like give us suggestions and things like that. But then that's going to be on Thursday. And then on Saturday, we're actually going to be doing like a play style, reenactment of our session. So like all the players are going to get in like costumes. We're going to do like a live play. Like we're an actual play with a script and everything, and like doing a reenactment of like the whole story and just seeing how fun that's going to be. I am not going to be seeing the live play, or I'm not going to be doing the testing for the Critical Role or the Kobold Plus, but Alan from the Dungeon Coach, he invited me to be a part of his Thursday game. So I'm going to be playtesting his Thursday game, and so I'm excited about that one. And I'm also in 2 other events with a group named Dead Aussie Gamer and the Cantrip Cat, or no, the Careful Cantrip. We'll end with the Cantrip Cast as well. A lot of those people. It's not very often where you get like Australians and Canadians being able to, and Americans being able to share the stage at once. And so that was something that I wasn't going to pass up, because I don't know when I'll be able to do that ever again with my friends. So yeah, I'm in a total of like 4 events, but they're ones I'm like really excited for and a part of. And so I'm excited.
Just for like a question on my head, like when is Gen Con?
Gen Con is,
on the top
I
of your
believe, head? August. It's August 3rd to August 6th.
Yeah, I had like
Yes.
a little panic attack that I'm like, okay, I need to know when is Gen Con, because this needs to go out before then.
Yeah, no, we still got like 2 months. We still got 2 months. We're fine.
Okay, cool. The next question is from Phoebe. And Phoebe asks, what was your favorite campaign you have ever ran, and why?
Campaign I've ever ran. I think the campaign, I don't know. I haven't really like done a very traditional campaign at first, for me yet. But, the one campaign that always strikes to me is when I first started being a dungeon master, first started doing the stream. I started doing just one-shots here and there, but every one-shot kind of had an interconnected story going through it. And then there was a point where I threw in this one character who I was just like, oh, let's just have this one dude just kind of show up. He's just wearing a brown cloak. That's it. And he's just very mysterious. And it caught a lot of people's attention, and it hooked in a lot of people. We were like, what is this brown cloak? Why is he able to like stop time? Why is he just smirking at the audience? And I just had my players go through the whole thing. And, just a bunch of different players going through it. And it just was, it just captured a lot of people's attention. And it was to the point where we were getting like over 100 people watching the stream at the time on Twitch. And I haven't been able to do that again, but like, holy crap, it was just, I really advertised it. I really pushed for it. And dang, it just has always left that. I think that was the seed that planted that was planted, that was able to sprout everything else, was that excitement. And so hopefully that will probably always be at the top most memorable, but we're hoping with this podcast one that we're trying to do hopefully we'll take that top spot. So hopefully we'll see.
The next question is from Justin Schramm. And
Okay.
the question is, this is a good one. If you were a potato, how would you want to be cooked?
Oh, Justin. If I was a potato and how I'd want to be cooked was I would probably want to be cooked in potato wedges form. I'm a big sucker for potato wedges. I feel like it has the perfect amount, but not like deep fried potato wedges. It needs to be like, kind of lightly covered in oil, then you put it in the oven, then you let it toast in there and you let it bake. So that way you have like that nice crunchy outside, but when you bite into it, it's like you're biting into a baked potato as well. So you cover that just a little bit of like butter and a little bit of cheese, and you have like a nice potato wedge baked potato. And that's how I'd want to go.
Cool. I am salivating.
Good.
Great. The next question is from Nathan. And the question is, do you make all of your props yourself?
No, I don't. I don't make really any of my props myself. I will usually stock up when Spirit of Halloween shows up, and I'll be like, all right, time for my yearly run. And so I'll go run and just grab a bunch of props or things that I might want, different costumes to wear during our during my videos and things like that. So I buy them. I don't have the time to make my own props, so I do the cheap way out and buy them. But I did have someone who literally gifted me a sword. So like we got like a sword over here. It's amazing. So that's like the one real prop I guess we have.
That's so cool.
Yes, it's freaking awesome.
The next question is from Priya, and the question is, what gave you the idea to make content about D&D, and what made you want to start playing?
So what gave me the idea of D&D was actually my wife. When we first started dating, I asked her a question and went, hey, what is something like I shouldn't make fun of that you enjoy? And she brought up D&D. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because my whole thing was I love watching professional wrestling. I think it's fun. It's just a great pastime. I get hyped for it. And all my friends made fun of me for it. And I was like, I just need one person who doesn't make fun of me for it. And so she brought up D&D, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Sat into one of their sessions, listened to what they were doing. Didn't have the slightest clue what was happening. Then I started playing a D&D game with my wife at the time, or she was my girlfriend back at the time, and we started playing with a group of her friends, and we had just a blast playing it. And I remember the first time where it sparked, I told the DM, I was like, hey, I want to dive off of this roof and fall right through the ceiling. And she let me do that. And then I remember distinctly, that's when I got excited and was like, oh my gosh, you could do so much in D&D. I love this. So that's what got me hooked. And then we played it for over a year. And then once we got married, I asked my wife, I was like, hey, is it okay if I start making content about Dungeons and Dragons? She's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And that's where it led to. It started off with just doing streams. No one watched at first. Again, I started where everyone else started off with 0 people watching. And then we started building off from there, started getting on TikTok, started really advertising ourselves, and it worked. It was awesome. And that's where it all began. So thank the wife of One Shot.
Amazing. I remember the last time we spoke,
yeah.
I told you that I discovered you on TikTok.
Yeah.
With one of your TikToks, which was going to the bathroom and throwing the dice.
Yeah.
Rolling the dice, and you had a 1 or something.
Yep. That one gets that one piece of content gets stolen. That is the one video that gets stolen all the time, where people are reposting it everywhere. I mean, it's good publicity, but the problem is I don't show my face at all. And so it's they just kind of take it and run with it, and there's nothing I can really do about it. So.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Yeah. Fun fact. The next question is from StrangeCobalt. And,
okay.
The question is, how do you feel about the influence of your comedy on the memes and standards of the D&D community? Things like the oath of throwing it back or rolling to seduce. Is it something you're proud of? Or do you wish you had done things differently, knowing the influence you've had at thousands of D&D tables across the globe?
Wow! Holy crap, that's a question.
The no pressure is from me. It wasn't part of the question.
No pressure. Holy crap. I don't regret any of the jokes. I think it is a great conversation starter. I think it's just given the community a lot more to just joke about, because there's just been a lot of people who have done it's weird to me. I still don't view myself I talk about it, but mentally I don't still view myself as one of the top people at times. And I feel I don't really reach out to, or I don't really think I have really made that big of a difference, but in reality I have, and that's something I'm still trying to teach myself. And it's been cool because I will see those memes and people saying it across all of TikTok. People will mention it oh, the so-and-so died of 1d4 damage, or if anyone throws it back, I always see in the comments, looks like they took the oath of throwing it back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's really cool. I see it in the Critical Role chats. I see it in comments for Dimension 20, Just little things like that. Someone dies really easily. I've always see a comment of like, oh, this person died of 1d4 damage. And it's cool. It really is cool. And I'm glad there's like other jokes. Seducing one, I would say, that wasn't totally just me. I know the horny bard memes were very much more present, but I think I very much heightened that joke a lot. And I know a lot of people probably like picture me when they think of like a bard seducing someone or Sam Riegel, but I have no regrets. Like I have no regrets because it gives people, when people make those jokes, they think of me, and that's the cool thing. And from what I'm learning is a lot of people got into D&D because of our content and because of these jokes I've made, and people actually like started playing and really getting into it all. And so with that, we're actually starting to make content that helps people with D&D, whether it's just my thoughts about certain homebrew that I enjoy, talk about my favorite modules. So it just, we're gonna start doing that because I think a lot of people would like to see my knowledge of it and like to see some credibility besides, the guy who makes haha funny jokes. So we're going to start doing that, and we're looking forward to that. But dang, okay. That was a question. I have never heard that question before.
That's a perfect question for
yes. You. How do you feel your impact is on the community? I don't know. Hopefully good.
Also, I love the fact that you're starting to do like kind of educational content. I think that has a lot of potential. Reaching like the kind of audience that is newer and like just getting into it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, good. I'm
glad. The next question is from the Whanos.
Oh,
and,
okay.
The question is, what is your favorite warlock subclass?
Next question. Warlocks are overhyped, in my opinion.
Okay, amazing. The next question is from Skulk, parentheses, lol.
Okay.
The question is, will you guys ever be going back to having a recurring campaign on the channel? I quite liked those and I miss them a lot. They were my introduction into D&D and I used to get a sort of nostalgic feeling when I watched them.
Oh, that's really nice. So yeah, we're going to be working on a podcast type form. We've tried the videos, we've tried the streams. It just takes up a lot of time. They're like just a lot of unnecessary time. Like a lot of the days would be taken up just trying to get that all set up, and absolutely don't want to do that again. So now we're just doing a podcast form where all we have to worry about is audio, making sure everyone just sounds good. And that one is going to fly by so much easier, but we're going to do it in podcast. So you'll be able to find it on, Spotify and Apple and other, podcast places that host podcasts. There we go. We will have a YouTube version that's just kind of like a still picture, and whenever someone talks, their character will light up, letting people know. But yes, we're bringing them back, but we're going to be doing a campaign. We have the idea. I got to sit down with the one who's going to be the dungeon master, because a lot of people say they love me as a dungeon master, but they really want to see me play. And so I'm going to give that to them. And plus the dungeon master, he's 10 times better than me. I'll let him run it. He is amazing. It's Dead Aussie Gamer for anyone who would like to know. So yeah, yes, they are coming back, and we're looking forward to it.
Okay, wherever fine pods are casted.
Yes, fine pods are casted. Go there. We'll definitely have a trailer and everything, so we'll let you all know when it's coming out.
Cool. Also, probably, not sure, but probably links in the description if it's out by then.
Probably, we'll see.
Okay, the next question is from Mitchell. And the question is, what is the one class that sounds like you wouldn't like it, and would you ever play it to try it out? For me, it would be Blood Hunter and Artificer, because those seem like you gotta be careful with what you do.
Blood Hunter, yes. Artificer, kind of. Artificer is very much just like a wizard. So When I first played the Artificer, absolutely loved it. It just had so many really cool abilities that are just different. Like one is like everyone who I talk to, I think the most popular one is the Artificer, the Armorer subclass, because that one gives you like a full like suit with thunder gauntlets. It's so freaking cool. I think the one that I'm like not interested in, but I feel like I would enjoy would be a Sorcerer. I've like Sorcerer's always kind of been like, it's just, you know, it's just kind of there. But I think I would actually have a lot of fun with the Sorcerer, especially like the wild magic Sorcerer. I think just having that, I think it embodies me pretty well, just the chaos and not knowing what's coming next, I think would be very, you know, applicable to me.
I love that.
Yeah. So.
Also, like, I think sorcerers are like, isn't that like the thing that if you do want to play a spellcaster, but you don't want to manage a spell book, then you just choose sorcerer?
Yeah, just sorcerer. That's what it is. But they're limited. If you want to do a magic user who can has a wide range of stuff, you do wizard. But, you know, wizards are expensive in the long run. Got to get a lot of money for those spell scrolls.
Great.
And they're squishy.
And they're squishy. 1d4 squishy.
I know, they're 1d4 squishy.
Okay, the next question is from Soundwave. And
okay.
The question is, what was your favorite project you've ever done on your own channel or as a collab?
Favorite project, honestly, would probably be the Heroes Feast series. I know that's like everyone brings it up, and it honestly was so much fun to just do and like try something new. And that was like, you know, one of the few things I was able to go from start to finish on, and it paid off. People absolutely loved it. When people come up to me, they say that the Heroes Feast series was one of their favorite things on the channel. Like, those are the two main things. We love your TikToks and shorts, and we love your Heroes Feast series. And so that is super cool to me to hear, because we were able to introduce people to a new type of D&D content. Or we were able to make content and bring people to D&D about it, which was really, really cool. We actually filmed something with Quincy's Tavern from TikTok. He has a new cookbook coming out. We just filmed some of his some food regarding his stuff, and a bunch of my creator buddies taste tested it, and also Quincy taste tested it. So it was a ton of fun. My editor's working on it right now. So hopefully that will be out soon-ish. There's a little bit of complications that happen with the audio. For some reason, we've been just running into bad audio problems lately, but hopefully everything will be okay in the end.
The next question is from Novastalgic.
Okay.
What a great name. And the question is, what's your favorite video you've shot so far, and what's your least favorite?
Oh, favorite video I shot so far would either be between the World's Tallest Dice Tower. That one was so much fun to film, mainly because that's when my editor Jake came down for the first time. We were able to work together. And that was the first time we got to meet, and we clicked really well, and it was just so much fun to film. We had really good just bouncing off of one another. That one was great. The other one that I'm very fond of was the TTRPG stereotypes, because we were able to include the fans. We were able to film at a game store, and it was just so much fun. It was like 4 hours of filming, but everyone was having a blast. Everyone was laughing, having a great time. It was absolutely amazing. And one thing that was really cool is we went over to this restaurant, this little empanada place right next door, and I bought everyone food because I couldn't pay. You know, I could have just go and pay everyone. So I was like, here, let me guys buy you lunch. And so they were all super happy for that. And the empanada place saw what we were doing and buying everything for everyone. They're like, hey, we noticed someone that's doing good for other people, so we gave you like so many free empanadas. And so it was really like, they gave me like free empanadas and they didn't like charge me tax. And so like that was really cool for just multiple reasons. Like so much good came out of that day. The worst filming, I think, was when I was doing some ad spots. I had to do like multiple ad spots in a row. And I want to say it was because I was doing Ad Darian's voice for so long. I started to strain myself and I got like a migraine. Like, I never had a migraine before, and I know what a migraine feels like now. And oh my gosh, like, I was dying. Like, I was in so much pain afterwards. And so, like, after that, like, every time I do, like, any ad spot, I have, like, a little PTSD because I go, oh, dude, I hope I don't strain myself as bad again where I have that. Like, my wife had to, like, stay up with me for 2 hours, like, massaging my head because I just was in so much pain. But, yeah, that was the worst experience. I don't think I've had like a bad experience, but that, in terms of like what happened, that one was the worst one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to empanadas. They are great. They're delicious.
They are fantastic. They're so
and
good.
I love them.
Yes.
The next question is from Tyler. And the
Yes.
question is, of all the types of content you experimented with,
Yes.
which form of content do you wish had performed better?
I wish the ones that performed better was giving back to the community, because that was some of the most fun and most memorable, and we were able to really change lives and change organizations. I remember when we did like the donated $10,000 to D&D streamers, that one was so much fun because we were able to actually make a ton of friends from that. I like to say I bought friends, but like they've actually become like really good close friends now. And because we were able to support them, and in return, they're out supporting me. And I wasn't expecting that, but that is something I'm very, very grateful for them for. And those ones did very well. Those ones did fairly well. But the ones that didn't was like, I went to a school in Washington and helped them start up their own gaming clubs and things like that. Like, bought them the materials and things they needed. We also like gave away like so much money for D&D. Like, we bought every D&D item in a store and we just gave it all away. We had probably around 500 people show up for that. People drove hours to just get something for free and meet me. It was really cool, but sadly those videos didn't perform very well. I wish they did. I wish we were able to make a return on investment with that. But in reality, it was something that I believe the community just isn't ready for and like really just didn't want. I should say they didn't want. They wanted it, but I just don't feel like it was the right thing or the right style. And I still want to do those, and I think we will. We'll just probably do it on a way smaller scale. Like the donating to streamers, that one I think people really enjoy because we're out supporting a lot of people who are putting in a lot of work. So we'll hopefully be able to continue that, but it'll be like, you know, if I have like an extra $1,000 lying around, I'll just donate like $100 or something like that. So anyway, I hope that is something that does get picked up and we can make some return on investment to be able to keep doing that. Because I want to be able to like spend the money to make that money and to be able to give it right back to the community. So hopefully, crossing our fingers, that is one we experimented on and it kind of bombed. And we're hoping that we can find the right thing to do something with. So,
okay, amazing.
Yeah.
The next question is from Edworld2, and
Okay.
the question is: if you could restart your channel and change one thing, what would it be?
If I could restart my channel and change one thing, I would change.
This is a hard one.
It is hard. I'm going to answer the question. I could get really freaking technical, but I'm not going to do that. If I had to change one thing, I would change my outsourcing, which means I would try to build myself on all platforms equally and not having to just rely on like YouTube, because that's bitten me in the butt really bad this year. We were doing our experimenting and I cut off a lot of my outsourcing, a lot of my other revenue sources, and we just kind of focused on YouTube. And then the OGL stuff happened and it affected the YouTube side a lot with the algorithm. And I'm not getting those views. I'm not getting that revenue that I once was. And so it's important to have multiple different sources of revenue. So like YouTube, Twitch, Patreon, podcasts, merch, things like that. Really focus on all of that. That way, you know, I wouldn't be in a situation that I'm in now where, you know, tax season comes up and I'm like, oh no, I'm broke. We're fine. We're totally fine. But it's one of those things where it's like, you know, I would rather not be in these situations And so I would easily just focus on outsourcing, which everyone will start seeing us do now. We're going to be advertising a lot of other things that we're doing. But if I'm getting technical, I wouldn't change anything and I wouldn't restart because I would lose every single one of you guys. And I don't want to do that. And I would lose a lot of things that I learned along the way. And I feel like that's very important. I will have a constant reminder of the failures that happen, which is a good thing because it taught me something. That is something I have had to teach myself, that failure doesn't mean I failed. It means, cool, this is a learning opportunity. And we could have went through all of this experimenting and went, well, it looks like nothing worked. Time to just, throw in the towel. It's more like, no. We know what to do now. We know what works, what doesn't work. And now, we have a lot of, I like to say like short-term content creators who will probably be here between like 2 to 5 years. We're now on that league of we'll be here around, 5 to 10 more years because we learned what to do and not to do early on. So
okay,
that's the technical side.
That's okay. That's amazing. And also like inspirational. I love that.
Thank you.
The next question is from Avery. And the question is, are you ever going to make a D&D campaign with subscribers, virtual or in person?
This is one that gets brought up a lot, and it's always good to refresh people. I would love to. You don't know how bad I would love to be able to play and interact with everyone. But the reality of that is that takes a lot of time away from me and a lot of time away from my wife. Because I have my normal job, that's creating content. I work 9 to 5, and then if I'm doing things outside of that, that's my evening. That's now taken up, which I have to be taking care of my wife because we're about ready to expand our family, and yes, thank you. And I gotta take care of my wife. I gotta make sure my health is taken care of and that my wife is taken care of. Like even our cats, I got to make sure they're taken care of and they're played. I just can't. I can't because that the best way I could put it, it takes away. I hate saying this, but it's just true. It doesn't make me anything. It doesn't provide anything for the channel. And so that is something where I have to be like, I'm so sorry, I can't do this, and I'm not going to have you guys pay to play with me unless it's like some big event that like I'm a part of. If I had it my way, I'd do it for free because I feel like there's too many paywalls for things, and sadly I have to do certain things because I need to support myself and my team as a creator, but I don't want people paying to meet me, if that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, I probably will not and never be able to do it just because of situations. There's other content creators that do it and they base their stuff around that, and that's totally fine. But I base my content around video content creation because that is what I am fond of and what I do. Also, my introvert anxiety would probably have a little bit much overloadness with just talking. I know you fans know me, but I don't know you. That's just the reality of things. And so like having to meet new people all the time and making sure, things are fine. It's a little bit anxiety ridden. So it's like, I hope that makes sense and I put it in the best way possible.
Hey, Duke. Same.
Yes. I may be a very big extrovert on camera, but that's a persona that I put on. But in reality, you can talk to anyone who's close to me. Very much of an introvert. Very, a lot more chill, a lot more on the quieter end. I should say quieter. I'm just a loud person in general, but like I thrive in being alone. That's why I was so happy the past 3 days when I was just playing Tears of the Kingdom. I didn't talk to anyone or do anyone. Do anything. I just was very so happy.
Me time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Amazing. Okay, the next question is from Daniel Edwards. And it is so funny that this question gets brought up now.
Oh boy.
Do you get recognized often from your videos? And which videos do you get recognized from the most often? AKA, are you still the weird one at the dollar store?
Oh, that one is still That's probably going to be my favorite fan reaction forever, just in the dollar store. You're the guy who ate Cthulhu! Oh, that was great. I get recognized probably like once or twice a month. Again, I'm kind of stuck inside my studio and in my house most of the time, which I enjoy. And my wife is the extrovert though, and she tries to force me out of the house. I'm like, no, don't do it. But when I do go out, there are just random moments where I will get recognized. People will be like, I've seen you from somewhere, and I'll go, TikTok? And they go, yes! So, like, I was out trying to sell some of my 3DS games one day, because I was like, I don't need these anymore. And I was waiting for someone to come pick it up. I was standing outside of a restaurant that I go to all the time, and kind of, you know, just really close to me. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm just going to wait here and just wait till this guy shows up. And then a car pulls up. This guy walks out, and he looks at me. And, you know, I thought he was the guy I'm selling the cards to. And he goes, I know you from somewhere. And I was like, TikTok? And he was like, yes. I was like, oh, to throw it back. And he was like, oh my gosh, yes. So like, I do get recognized in very random places, every now and then. It's probably like once or twice a month. But with this new schedule and what we're about to do and where we're going to be like everywhere, I think it's going to be a little bit more. Like when I go to game stores, like any type of game stores, I'll get recognized almost immediately. Or when I don't, I'll get a message say, hey, I thought I saw you at my local game store. I wanted to say hi, but I'm not sure. And then I'm like, no, please say hi. Like, I want you guys to stop and say hi to me. I love interacting with you guys. Like, please don't ever feel nervous to come up and say hi to me. Like, even when bless Jacob and my other collabers heart, other content creators that I collab with. We were at this event called the Convergence, which was at Salt Lake City, where a bunch of D&D content creators got together. We played D&D in this like fantasy like park. And there was a day where the park was open to the public, where everyone come in, can enjoy the park as it is. And I was trying to eat, and I had people constantly coming up and saying hi and wanting to take pictures. And my crew was like, Duke, sit down and eat. We are pushing everyone away because you need to eat. And I was like, but people. So I have a very hard time saying no to people and turning people away. But at the same time, my crew is like, no, we love you and we want your well-being. So like, sit down, and we got to push people away. So like, but don't still come say hi to me. It makes my day. I went to an Applebee's once, and our waitress was a fan of mine. And so, like, it just happens everywhere. You don't know who you're going to meet that's going to be a fan, which is the exciting part.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yes.
Okay, the next question is from Darian Hicks. And the question is, what is your favorite D&D 5e module that you have played or want to play?
Tomb of Annihilation. That is my favorite one. It is the first one. I'm biased because that was the first one I played in. That was the first game I ever played, was Tomb of Annihilation. I felt it gave a really sense of like every decision matters. And this is where you could go and here are the different encounters. And, you know, if you die, you're dead because there's no resurrection in Tomb of Annihilation because that is what you're trying to solve. So I love Tomb of Annihilation, and I try to recommend it to everyone. It's a little bit on the harder side. I would say, like, in terms of modules, I would say, like, from easy, medium, hard, extreme, it's definitely on the harder end because it's very scarce, and if you play it how it is, there's just a lot of random encounters that can happen. So I'd almost put it on an extreme. Like, between hard and extreme, depending on how you play it. But yes, Tomb of Annihilation, always recommend.
Okay, cool. This one is kind of brings us back to the one that you wanted to skip about Warlocks. So you have a chance. Now you have a chance to explain yourself. The next question is from Average DM, and the question is, why don't you like Warlocks?
All right, you better have the video where you asked me about Warlocks and then I skip. And then later down, it's like, hey, why don't you like Warlocks? You better have that in. When I first got into D&D, all people talked about was Warlocks and how great Warlocks are and just like how much fun they are and how overpowered they are. And to me, it just was overhyped. Like, too many people told me about it, and I got became oversaturated with it. It was like, okay, whoa, this is way too much. Is there like any other cool things about them? Like, you get 2 spell slots in your early levels. Like, it's absolutely nothing, and it's just, you know, you don't get your cool things until like you get past like level 8, and then you really start getting cool things. But then afterwards, you can only use them once, and then you have to keep taking short rests. And it's just like, okay, cool. You can do all this stuff, but you can only do it once. And I just don't find them fun. I don't feel like I'm being limited to that. And that's why I enjoy my fighters, because all I can do is bonk, and then I can keep bonking, and it's fantastic. And it makes me happy. But no, the main reason, a lot of people may argue with me about it, but the main reason was when I first got in, all I heard was about warlocks, and I just got tired. I'm one of those people who, if I hear it all the time, it's not going to make me want to play it. It's going to make me disinterested about it. And so everyone just really was like, warlocks are the best, where I came to like, I hate them. Just because everyone kept talking about it.
Warlock fatigue.
Yes, warlock fatigue. And I will probably never play warlock just because of, like, if there's a storyline where some reason I get like power of warlock, I'm not going to complain, but I'm definitely like, if I'm multi-class, I'm not going to be leveling it up.
Next question is from Eric.
Yes,
and the question is, if you had to give up chocolate or cheese for the rest of your life, which would you pick?
Chocolate or cheese?
Yep.
That's rude.
Stare into oblivion.
That's rude. All right, if I'm being honest, I would probably give up... Dang it, I would probably give up chocolate, because I am a cook. I'm a cook, and cheese is added into a lot of your cooking dishes, and it helps, you know, with some of the flavor. Like, I wouldn't be able to enjoy a cheeseburger, and cheeseburgers are my favorite thing. I wouldn't be able to enjoy pizza anymore. I wouldn't be able to enjoy any of the casseroles I make. I wouldn't be able to enjoy, like, chicken sandwiches. Cheese is a lot more food friendly and, you know, survival heavy type of food. Chocolate is just a sweetener that makes people fat. So it gives you just a lot of sugar, and chocolate is definitely one of those that I could live without. And I'm not. Yeah, I'll say that. I'll say that. Cheese. I'm a sucker for cheese and crackers as well. And I will choose, like, if I had a dish in front of me where it's cheese and crackers and just chocolate, I'd probably go for the cheese and crackers. So That's my answer. I'm not happy about it, but that's my answer.
I love the hot take.
Thank you. I know if you ask my wife, she would choose chocolate in a heartbeat. She's not a big fan of cheese, but now I'm probably going to go to pizza after this out of spite.
You need to send me the picture, and then I'll have like a
exactly, yeah,
an overlay.
She's like, "Here's my pizza."
Okay, this is a good one about cooking.
Oh.
This question is from Lucas Bergqvist. I hope
Nice.
I'm pronouncing this right. Will you ever do more cooking stuff? I really enjoyed the Heroes Feast videos, and I was kind of hoping for more stuff in that style. You looked to enjoy yourself immensely with it, barring some obvious exceptions, of course.
Bread. Yeah, so like I explained before, we did a video with Quincy, and we're doing a bunch of, like, where I was making Quincy's cookbook, and I gave it to my creator friends to test it out, and also had the one who wrote the book test it out. And so you guys, again, we're working on that right now. Jakin is currently color coding it. He had to do a couple walks because he was just like, I'm done with this coloring stuff. Again, the big thing that that's going to be an issue is audio. Because it's me that has the lav mic, but then there's a bunch of us who's all around. There's like probably 7 other creators like in the room, just kind of listening and watching and helping out as they can. It was so much fun. It really is. And so there's a lot of things that we got to figure out, but that is something that is on our radar of like what we should be making is cooking videos. People really, really love the cooking videos, and that may become a staple. So we got to just see how this video does, and that's going to tell us what we need to include with our cooking stuff. So, but yes, more is coming.
Okay, this is a nice one in terms of like the spirit of educational value.
Okay, cool.
The next question is from Ryan, and the question is, how do I get friends that want to play D&D?
You trick them into playing D&D with you, and then that's how you get the friends. There's a bunch of Discord communities that jumps on, and people will are willing to jump on and talk and have a good just want to play D&D. And so you'll be able to find a lot of friends that want to do it that way. Like definitely go onto Discord, definitely search things up, and you'll be able to find places where you'll be able to form a group and play D&D. In terms of your friends, that is something you just need to ask them. Be like, hey guys, do you want to play Dungeons and Dragons? You'll probably have to be the one that's the dungeon master and to introduce people into the game. You're going to have to take that mantle because someone's going to need to introduce them. And honestly, just be open with them. Just tell them like what it is, why you want to play it. It's a great way for friends to actually come together and, you know, kind of bond over something else. It provides a lot of great moments for you and your friends to talk about. And it's just a way for your friends to just hang out for a couple hours, just talk. So it should just be open up front with them, talk with them. Or look on Discord and stuff if your friends really aren't that interested. So
the next question and final question that we have time for is from Cliffjumper, parentheses, one of Duke's Discord mod. And the question is, Duke, and be honest.
Okay.
How many dice do you own?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because as a content creator, I have my own dice. I have like my dice that I have that those are the ones that I go to first. Then we just have just a bag of dice that holds, I don't know how many sets in there. Over 10, I know there's like probably around like 15 cents at the bag. But then there's a lot of dice that I'll just be gifted. And we have an area that has a bunch of the dice. A lot of it's just like miscellaneous, like random D20s, D8s, D4s, but they're really freaking cool. Those, I don't know how many we have. We got a lot of gifted dice, and we'll use them from time to time. I really try to use the gifted dice and try to show them in the videos that I use. Like, so if someone sends me like a set of dice, I will try my best to remember to put those in a video so people could see like, oh, hey, look, I appreciate your gift. This is the way I say thank you, is showing you it. But man, I don't know. I don't know. That's like telling a movie fanatic what their favorite movie is. It's a hard question.
I think the honest answer is I don't know. That's what
exactly.
you said.
I don't know. There's so many different sets. I got metal. I got risen. Just so many. I gotta organize them. I really do.
Amazing. Okay, these were all the questions that I have that we have time for. Before I let you go, Duke, please tell everyone where they can find you and what is something you're excited for in the nearest or farthest future of you and your channel.
So I know we had an identity crisis a while ago, everyone. I know we changed the name so many times, but guess what? We're back to One Shot Questers. It's just this channel. And then our side channel is going to be our podcast and VOD stuff. So we're definitely going to have that. But the main channel is called One Shot Questers. You can find us everywhere at One Shot Questers. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. YouTube is One Shot Questers. That's how you find me. Something that I'm really excited for with the channel is I'm honestly really excited to be doing the teaching aspect or giving my thoughts about D&D. I'm really excited to show the community that I have credibility and that people can turn to me to answer some of their questions or they can get advice from. So I am really excited. I feel like that is something that has been missing within the channel. Like we are known as the funny guy. But I think people are going to be really interested to see the credibility that I have. And that's honestly what I'm looking forward to. I'm excited to get on that next level of content creation.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Geek Peek. Before I let you go, I want to thank the individuals who went the extra mile and became my patrons. So, without further ado, thank you to Arthur Morrill, Bob Prescott, Lexi Gardner, Cody Neville, Charlie Fisher, Stoat Dross, Laura Jane Hamilton, Maggie, Grace Bauer, Captain Casno, Tyler Falstead, Ella Lubell, Mandy Kennedy, Ross Simpson, Jacob Koch, Emma Rose D20 is my church, Patch Kelly, Sarah Kate Noel, Zachary Tyndall, Trevor Williams, Kehos Alpha, and Nick Lucas. If you want to join them, please head on over to patreon.com/TheOrenCohen, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.